Hello, friends, and welcome into the TexAgs Rewind. We are presented by the good people at Specs, and they are the 4-time National Retailer of the Year. And if you're looking to step up your cocktail game, get inside info on seasonal releases and order online on the same day for that delivery. Just go to Specs Online because the fun starts here. Fan show, guys. Roy and Matt, and we've got Ambry Heath at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center.
Hey, David.
Hey.
Hey, man. Great show today.
Thank you.
Hello, great job. Did we make the show?
Let me double check.
Like Mr. Rogers. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. The fan show made it.
What do you know?
We did it. So
Just really got to up the content, Dave. You're slacking.
The fan show make it. Okay. What was your favorite part, Ambry, who's got her purse on, ready to roll? Yeah, everybody can see it. Don't worry about it.
The fan show and OB.
Fan show and OB. Is that the only two you remember?
No, Stephen McGee, AT, Shireen Williams.
Look at you. Favorite part, guys?
you did short McGee today. I mean, he was.
It was 35 minutes.
Yeah, but honestly, I listened to the whole thing driving out today, and OB. We don't give OB enough credit. We always go, "Oh, is Aaron Torres?" No, OB was great today. He was really funny.
I like McGee. I like hearing. I like quarterback talk. I'm a big fan of quarterback talk. So
on the Rewind, we've got Stephen McGee, we've got Michael Wachsman, and we've got Aaron Torres, and we've got the fan show. Somehow the fan show made it. That and that, not more. That's it. That's all you're going to get. Check it out. And I want you to give me an honest quarterback's opinion. What's Marcel's biggest strength?
Yeah, it's got to be the elite speed. I don't think there's many quarterbacks that can get that gear to gain an edge on a defense. He certainly has it. I think when plays break down, the ability to create and make something happen, I think that's always, a huge advantage offensively. If the play call is not perfect for whatever defense they have, which happens, right? You got to make something happen, and that's where that elusiveness, right? That extra edge.
Yeah, I think it's his ability to make plays off schedule.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of that. And that comes with that speed and that elusiveness.
Exactly, yeah.
Mobility.
I don't know what his actual laser 40 time would be.
I bet he's a 4.6.
Yeah.
And I say that because he had a run against LSU, and it was a great run. Mm-hmm. And it's probably like a 20-yard run. And if he was a 4.5, 4.4 guy, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, 4.6 is plenty fast, and especially for a quarterback.
That's like my speed, though. That's pretty slow.
Well, you were a good runner. And I don't think you run 4.6.
I did.
If you run 4.69, I guess that's still a 4.6.
I ran 4.6 something at the combine. I remember that.
You were a good runner, McGee.
Well, yeah, but that's slow. That's not the benchmark. I mean, the benchmark's high.
So you think Marcel's faster?
So here's why. Somebody told me, it's been a while, I think maybe last offseason, I don't remember exactly when it was, but that he was had the third or fourth fastest 40 time at whenever they run 40s.
Well, maybe he's faster than I'm not out there with a clock.
I'm going faster than 4.6.
Okay.
Talking to Michael Wachsman here on TexAgs Live. Michael, when you look at both conferences, obviously the Big Ten's won the last two. There's a lot of back and forth on how strong the Big Ten is versus the SEC and vice versa. Do you agree with most SEC folks that the Big Ten is top heavy, but the conference itself not as deep as the SEC?
Yes, I think top to bottom, the SEC is better. I do think that the teams at the top of the Big Ten, the Ohio States, Penn State, Oregon, maybe Michigan, could certainly be in the championship mix in the SEC because I think their roster construction and their coaches certainly are good enough. But if you go top to bottom, I mean, even a lower middle portion team in the SEC, and just as an example, I'm not saying I think this is where they're going to finish this year, but someone like a Missouri would probably be an upper level team in the Big Ten. And I don't know that you could say that the teams beyond Michigan, like in Illinois and Iowa and Indiana, they'd probably struggle to get out of the middle tier of the SEC. So top to bottom, I do think the SEC is better, but I think the top of the Big Ten could hang with the SEC pretty much every year.
Well, Mike, part of this came up yesterday with Kurt Cignetti's comments and, scheduling and yada, yada, yada. And I've used yada, yada, yada twice already, 3 times now. When you look at Indiana, okay, who got to the college football playoffs, and I think they deserved it last year based on their resume, even though I don't think they were one of the best teams in the country, at least to that respect. How would they have done with an SEC schedule?
Well, I know that Cignetti turned the roster over, and they were a much more talented team last year than they had been in the past few years. I mean, getting a guy like a Curtis Rourke and some of the guys who kind of came up and really played well made them a better team, and he's continued that. They got some good transfers coming in. They've recruited a little bit better. I don't think that their roster, though, is constructed right now where they would be much more than a 500 team in the SEC. Maybe 3 years down the road, if they continue recruiting like this and he continues hitting on his portal acquisitions, they could maybe be a consistent factor in the Big Ten where they win 10 games a year. And if you're winning 10 a year in the Big Ten, you probably could transition over to the SEC and do pretty well. But I'm not a huge proponent of him kind of talking the way he does.
No, I'm so glad you framed it that way, David, because I actually think this is the big storyline. You know, the analogy that I actually ironically used on Ryan Fowler's show yesterday was it feels like a boxer that has never been punched. This is the SEC I'm talking about. A boxer that's been punched in the chin, that's never taken a clean shot before, and not knocked down, but a little bit wobbly. And I think my biggest takeaway, of the last 3 weeks, obviously outside of what happened in Atlanta, was that I think a lot of people smell blood in the water in college football. And I am not one that believes that the SEC narrative is necessarily overrated, but what I am is somebody that has to take everything on a case-by-case basis last year, every case-by-case basis year by year. I thought based on the standard that the committee had set, Indiana and SMU should have been in over Alabama last year. It doesn't mean that the SEC will be inherently worse this year than the Big Ten or whatever, or that the Big Ten has clearly surpassed them. But I think it is a fair conversation. I think more importantly, people aren't afraid to have the conversation, afraid to push back, whether it is Rhett Lashlee, whether it is Curt Cignetti, whether it is, I think Ryan Day said on Monday or Tuesday that he believes the Big Ten has officially surpassed the SEC. I hope most of that gets settled on the field. But I don't think that we can just default to the SEC as the definitive best next question the way that we could even 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Well, I guess it depends on what your argument is for what best means. We're talking about best team in college football. The last couple of years, it's been Big Ten, right? No doubt. But I still will say you line up 1 through 16, both conferences, the SEC would win in a battle royal. And I mean that. So I think when we have these conversations about schedule and like, Indiana does not make the playoffs with an SEC schedule. They don't. They might be really good. They might be Missouri. They might be LSU. They might be A&M, but they're not in the playoffs.
So what's on my mind, obviously, is the build-up to football season. Right? That's what we've all been thinking about. It's all y'all have been discussing. You know, we're. It's kind of funny because this will be the first time we're really coming in. We're not really talking much baseball, basketball. You know, now we're getting into this upcoming season. Listening to y'all this morning, going over the schedule, the swing games, all the different stuff that we've got going, and it makes you think about all that. And so, but but what's kind of what's been funny and what I've been thinking about this morning is that going into the season, I'll say this is as low as I've been, probably since the off season of 2012, which is kind of funny to think about, right?
Heading into
you going into that season of 2012, I was like, man, this is gonna be a rough year. It's funny because, I mean, we just lost Ryan Tannehill and Jeff Fuller and Cyrus Gray and DeMontre Moore. We just lost all these studs. And now we're going into the SEC in our first season. I was like, man, this is going to be a rough year. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is going to be a rough year. We just, we'll go through some growing pains. And then, of course, then we know what happened. Probably the most memorable season of my lifetime, right? And so I've been in a similar boat this whole offseason going, this might be a rough year, right? Just and what I'm basing that off of, I don't know. I guess just a feel, just kind of what we did last. And then of course, but then I sit and listen, and as we get closer, you get more excited, and of course in my mind we're getting better every day. But when you really think about it, like listening to y'all go ahead and go, okay, let's really break it down. We're one game, like you said earlier. If we win that Auburn game, we're in the SEC championship game last year.
Oh, we did it.
It's a very different conversation we're having right now,
Yep.
right? Or if we, there was a time where we were 7-1 and just beat LSU, and
Those were the good days.
those were, yeah. And then of course we fell off. But I think at media days, Elko, I mean that question got posed to him. Hey, you know, you were in position and then you kind of fell off there at the end. And he's like, yeah, he said, but it was learning. It was learning from not only the players, but also the coaching staff of how to continue to push and understand that, hey, things are going to, there's going to be adversities. We got to get past them. We can't just lay down and lose. And so,
okay, in as slow as possible, I want you to tell the people, I want it to be slow, what to do, but I want energy at the same time. So I want energy, like really slow, but with voice and energy. Ready?
It's too bad she doesn't do Hulk Hogan. Like she could, you got to subscribe, brother.
oh, yeah.
Okay, change my mind. Go.
Little Hulkamaniacs.
Come on, Hulkamaniac. Come on, brother. You got to like, you got to subscribe, you got to comment, you got to share, brother.
R.I.P. Hulkster.
If Hulk was from Texas, that would have been him. We'll see you guys next time.